What makes service-based franchise models appealing for people looking to maintain a work-life balance?
Well, some service-based businesses will be a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 traditional hours. A lot of these business models, it's not you, that's the technician. You're hiring the technician, so you can be running the business from home. So you have a lot of flexibility, low overhead, generally pretty good margins compared to most other sectors with low overhead and great margins. That makes it usually a good business. That's why home service is really keen on people's radars because of those factors. Because when COVID hit, actually home service industries, I think somebody was saying, and I don't know where they got this quote, but 400% increase in home service revenues. So that, people are staying at home more, they're fixing up their houses more. There's more, when you're at home more and you're flushing the toilet more, what happens? There's more problems. So I could kind of get that. That kind of makes sense. With people transitioning from going to the office 12 hours a day and now they're at home 12 hours a day more than they normally were, that's more wear and tear. You're using utilities more water. A lot of people are doing more renovations to their house because they're building home offices in the garage, doing all this stuff. So I can see the trend that, yes, I believe that's the case. Not to mention restoration. Whether there's global warming or not, there's a lot more natural disasters lately, right? Look how many fires there are. Look how many hurricanes there's been in the recent years. It seems more than ever, and that could just be I haven't studied it, but it's just definitely a person. So look at all these hurricane disaster homes, how much restoration business needs to be done. In Southern California, Northern California, how many fires? That's a restoration and construction. People that are aging in place and they need their homes, they need handrails, they need all those things. So the trends here for home service and B2B type businesses, I don't see that changing. What I'm seeing is innovation where they're taking an old model and they're creating like a subcontractor model. So you see a lot of painting companies now. They don't even have painters. They sub it all out. They're really just a machine. So I believe that home service is a great industry. I think it's competitive in many niches like HVAC. Here in Las Vegas, you drive around everywhere, there's HVAC going around. But then again, everybody is dependent because it gets extremely hot here. So I think home service is one of the best places to be within the franchise industry.
Can you give us some examples of service-based franchises, maybe not just home-based, that are ideal for someone wanting a semi-absentee role?
So there's certain franchise systems that are bigger conglomerates, and they really have a good semi-absentee model. They have a plumbing company, they have an HVAC company, they have an electrical contracting company, they have a tree service that does tree trimming. They have different landscape businesses, and most of these business models can be all run semi-absentee. Most businesses can be run semi-absentee, but what it really takes is the right systems and the right marketing. So you want to, going back to a previous video we did, when you're really checking on these franchises, part of your due diligence is calling other owners that are running the business how you would be running the business as a semi-absentee owner. What does that entail? How many hours are you spending? How much work did you really do in the beginning to make hire the lead technician for the HVAC company? So those industries are a lot of semi-absentee. And I think it also depends on the owner, because I think some people have better skills. They're better at hiring people. They're better at managing people. They're better at all the things that are needed in business. So I think it's really, although a business can be semi-absentee, it's like, do you have the skill sets to run a business semi-absentee? Do you have the skill sets to follow a playbook that these franchises give you? Because believe it or not, some people don't know how to follow a playbook, and then they think that they're smarter and they create things that won't make the business run the right way. So
how do service-based franchises compare with other types of franchises in terms of upfront costs and profitability?
I think in general, the startup costs for most home services businesses most don't need storefronts. Most are lean businesses. You scale by adding a van and a technician. You compare that, like You compare that against like a brick and mortar type of business, and it's a substantial difference. So like in the health and wellness space, these cold plunge places, all these trendy spas and stuff, you're looking at 500 to $1.2 million investment range versus maybe 100 to 200,000. So it's a huge difference. That's another reason why I think home services businesses are attractive. And I also sometimes say home service, but B2B businesses are similar, like landscape businesses and so forth in the commercial sector. Commercial painting companies, those are all great business models. We have in our inventory, we have a painting company, and they are the only franchise that do 100% commercial, and it's a subcontractor model. And the all-in investment is around 100,000, maybe a little bit more. Most people are going in and doing more territory, so that kind of beefs up the investment range. But you only need one employee or one independent contractor to start. You're subbing out the paint jobs. You're basically building business relationships with property owners that own commercial, small to medium sized, large multifamily community facilities, and then you're subbing out the work and you're making the spread, and you're making sure the fulfillment's done and the quality's great. So lots of opportunity.
What's the process for financing a service-based franchise, and how does it differ from financing a brick-and-mortar model?
It's easier because you don't have to do any TI, which is tenant improvements. You don't have to get construction bids. You don't have to do any of that. We can close lower ticket home service businesses within 3 weeks if you're dialed in. I mean, I shouldn't say everybody can, because you have to put your projections together. 2 to 3 weeks with one bank we work with. Generally, they're between, if it's an emerging franchise, the max we can do is 150,000. If it's a really established brand, we can do up to 350 with this bank loan amount. So they don't do any TI. They do mostly service-based businesses, and there's a lot of people buying service-based businesses. And I would probably say that at some point, some of these industries will get too saturated with so much action going there. But I do believe that, like, if it's a good brand, you're always gonna, and you have market share and it's brand identity, and they're best in class, there's always gonna be room for you, because there's so many people that need certain services.
So this one has a lot of overlap, but let's just talk about it. What qualities should someone look for in a service-based franchise if they aim to keep a hands-off approach?
Definitely validate with people that are running it with a hands-off approach. Really understand the business model and like who are the key hires you're going to hire, and how long has the franchise been around. If the franchise has been around 2 years and that's it, and they're saying, well, we got this amazing semi-absentee business model. Well, how many franchise owners do you have that have owned and operated over 12 months? Well, most of them are at 8 months. Well, I don't think there's enough of a track record to verify. So you're going with more of a gut feeling, because there's no real proof in the pudding. And there's a lot of brands right now like that. They have hundreds of units sold. Now one way to check on it is to go and see what their year-to-date numbers are. That's going to be a good indication. So you can start projecting. But be careful when you're looking at these emerging franchises, because they could get with a really good franchise development company. They could be really good at marketing and get you into it. But I think that's like when you're looking at emerging franchise that doesn't have a lot of, in their FDD, doesn't have a lot of history to show you what the numbers are. You have to see who the ownership is in the company, right? Like, what's their credibility? Have they ever done anything in the franchise space? Well, no. Well, they're just some guy with an idea that franchised it. Do they have a background of entrepreneurship, and have they been successful in other ventures? I mean, I would put more weight on somebody who's done 5 or 6 franchises and they've all been very well, versus somebody that's no experience. So be careful of that. And then if there's limited information, you're going to have to call these other franchise owners that have been doing it for 6 or 8 months and see what their numbers look like. You can get a good sense, is this really going to pencil out the way people are preaching? Because remember, everybody's going to put the business in the best light possible. And not to say they're trying to give you the wrong idea of what the business model is, but their job is to get you into a franchise. You need to investigate and do your homework. It's the bottom line.
Are you ready? It's time to get the tools, prompts, and guidance you need to scale your business. With my team of VAs, My calendar stays full with qualified appointments. Now I want to help you do the same. Hi, I'm Bo Eckstein, and I've put together an exclusive ebook that will help you supercharge your productivity, scale your operation, and close more deals using virtual assistants and AI. Here are the key points you'll discover: productivity boost, scalable systems, and how to close more deals. In this free ebook, you'll discover proven strategies I've used in my own business. Strategies that have helped me go from doing it all myself to building a high-performing team that runs like a machine. Get your free copy now and unlock the secrets to growing your business faster than ever before. Please visit bizscalingplaybook.com.
Hey guys, Bo Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.